So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. John Duken.
Excuse me. Thank you, President Zafran, for your gracious introduction. It's much appreciated. It's a privilege to be here and participate in this symbolic and inspiring commencement processional, and to share this milestone event with dedicated faculty, staff, and stage party dignitaries who continually give to the success of this college. Thank you, College Council members, President Ryan O'Neill, Marie Regan, SGA President Kiana Solomon, and Alumni Association President Kelly Obermeyer. And thank you all for everything that you do. It's great to witness the graduates and their families and friends on such a happy day, a day of well-earned gratitude, fulfillment, and celebration. Graduates, can you believe it? This day, this hour has finally arrived. You are now only one speech away from reaching a very important goal. And this certainly is a special way to celebrate mothers who I dare say are bursting with pride a day before their special day. As President Zafran mentioned, I am a Canton graduate. It was Canton ATC back then when I roamed the campus with the dinosaurs, as my kids think. Like so many high school students, I was influenced by my parents, who felt strongly that Canton ATC was the best college for me. Well, they were so right. I remember my Canton commencement like it was yesterday. All my friends, all my family was here and very proud, and a few a little surprised, I think. My mother, who was a SUNY trustee, actually presented the degree to me. To this day, I'm not 100% sure if she gave it to me as a trustee or as a mom who wanted to make absolutely positively certain that I did indeed graduate. Never ever in their wildest dreams would they have thought that 35 years later, I would be Canton's commencement speaker. In fact, when I told my mom, who's now 80, that I would be here today, she asked, were there any other people in the alumni directory with the name John Duken? She thought President Zafran may have called the wrong one. Well, even if he did call the wrong person, I'm here, and I plan to speak about what I've learned in the last 35 years since I sat where you are. Some learnings and a few insights that I believe will be helpful to you as you begin the next phase of your life. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to meet with President MacArthur, who was SUNY Canton's president when I was a student. Yes, he's still alive and well and enjoying his life with his wife Joyce in Naples, Florida. We had a lot of laughs regarding my campus capers, which are better left unreported. It was good to be able to discuss the value that I place on my time at Canton, and thank him for that. I hope someday you'll have the opportunity to thank Canton and give back to this college in whatever way you can. A question that President MacArthur asked me is a question I have heard over and over again. How at my age could I be retired? Now, I could have answered, if I tell you, then I'm going to have to kill you. But instead, I said what I always say. I was lucky. And that's what I want to talk about today, being lucky. The great thing about luck is you don't have to be naturally talented. I'm not. So my question to you graduates is, how lucky are you? Have you thought about luck? I'm sure you felt lucky from time to time, or you've heard yourself say he or she was lucky. Well, what did you mean? Is being lucky in one's career and life truly just random? Well, the good news is the luck I'm talking about is not random at all. Let's consider a job that you probably wouldn't want as a new college grad, but any of us in certain circumstances might need to take. This job is done by two maids, Both maids worked in the same apartment building. One cleaned apartments on the 5th floor, and one cleaned them on the 8th floor. The maid on the 8th floor was cheerful and conscientious, and did more than required, like wash the dishes and water the plants. She kept those apartments spotlessly clean. And because of her great attitude and performance, her clients would frequently leave gifts and substantial tips. The maid on the 5th floor was just the opposite. The apartments were never really that clean. She did just enough, nothing more. She wouldn't do anything extra, like pick up a coffee cup or a dish. As a result, she and the residents resented each other. This maid was waiting for a tip before she'd do a good job, but the residents refused to tip her until she did so. The 5th floor maid thought that the maid on the 8th floor was lucky to have such good residents to clean for. Now I ask you, was she lucky? The 8th floor maid, who took pride in her work, was happy and friendly and received gratitude and warmth in return. She felt very lucky to have a great group of residents on the 8th floor. The 5th floor maid was sullen and resentful and made a lot of people unhappy. There you have it. Two people working in the same building, doing the same job. One happy and successful, and the other miserable and failing. Was one of these maids just lucky? Well, what is luck? Dictionary.com might tell you that luck is some form of success that occurs as a result of chance. Was the 8th floor maid successful because she, just by chance, happened to be on the 8th floor? Well, her colleague on the 5th floor thought so. I don't. Winning the lottery might be an example of the internet's definition of luck. But when I think of luck and success, I believe you must create it or make your own luck. So I advocate a different definition or characterization. A characterization often discussed in professional blogs and in online groups. Simply put, luck is found at the crossroads of preparation and opportunity. You see, preparing oneself for a future opportunity that is unknown is hard to do. And it's hard because it requires a lot of extra effort without any near-term realized benefit. And that's why most people really never prepare for the next opportunity. It also requires faith. Faith that if I work hard and prepare, an opportunity will surface that I can't even imagine right now. And if I don't prepare, that opportunity will go to someone that did. Of course, your next logical question is, if I don't know what the opportunity is, then how can I prepare? My answer? If you establish the behaviors of mastering and adding value to your current responsibilities, no matter what they are, then these same behaviors are transferable to future unknown opportunities. Now you may be sitting there thinking, that's a nice platitude, but what does it mean? How is working and preparing really different? The difference is in how you approach the work. Here are some examples. Is your focus on exceeding expectations of the job or getting the job done? Is your focus on expanding your knowledge by being intellectually curious or just using your current knowledge and skills to complete the task? When the job calls for more hours, do you happily spend the time or do you look for shortcuts? When things are challenging, do you persevere or do you fold? And when you fail, do you accept responsibility and grow, or do you point fingers? And when you engage with others, are you kind and value other people's contributions, or are you hard to work with and have all the answers? I can't tell you the number of careers that I have seen go nowhere. And not because the people weren't smart and capable. And it wasn't because they didn't get their work done. It was how they approached the work. The ones that appeared lucky were fully engaged in their tasks and used those tasks to prepare, while the others met their requirements. You only have to look at your smartphone apps to know the world is run by those people that work hard and prepare, not those that simply show up. Unfortunately, there are people like the fifth floor maid in every field and organization. People who think that someone else owes them something. It proves that it isn't the job that makes the difference, it's how you approach the job. Any person who does only what he has to do, who grudgingly refuses to give no more than what he's being paid for, is bound to be miserable. No other result is possible. In waiting for life to give him more before he gives more, he is doomed to spend the rest of his life waiting for something that will not and cannot happen. It's impossible to estimate how much unhappiness could be eliminated if we would only realize that the opinions of ourselves depend upon how we handle the tasks that have been given to us to do. In this sense, this isn't just about a job or a career, but any life situation. It makes no difference at all what the job happens to be. Every job has something within itself, the key to everything we could want for ourselves, if we'll work constantly on ways to improve what it is we do. There are no good and bad jobs. It's how we engage the work that makes the difference. And yet, this obvious truth goes unnoticed by the vast majority of workers. A good attitude provides the energy to try and try again. And this is really important when first entering the world of work. It's so easy to become discouraged when looking for a job or become discouraged when in a new job. There are many moments of self-doubt that need to be addressed, and somehow we must not allow ourselves to become discouraged. That's when having confidence in yourself is important. But being kind, developing good working relationships, and having family and friends around that support you also really matter. Albert Einstein said, "Show me someone that hasn't failed, and I will show you someone that hasn't tried hard enough." The fact is, highly successful people fail more than the average person. But if you take responsibility for the failure, you are then free to learn from it. And I'm sure you've heard of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter series. She says, it's impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live life so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. There's someone else you may have heard about. He started a business as a young man and failed. Then he tried to run for political office and failed. Then he tried another business and failed. Then he tried politics again and was elected to the state legislature, but his fiancée died a year later and he was rumored to have had a nervous breakdown. If you look at the low points, the next 24 years for him weren't a whole lot better. He ran for the Speaker of the Legislature and lost. Tried to run for Congress but wasn't nominated. 2 years later, he was elected to Congress but lost his chance at a first re-election because he wasn't his party's nominee. He tried to get a political appointment, was rejected. Ran for Senate and lost. Tried to get the vice president nomination of his party and lost. Ran for Senate again and lost again. He lost a total of 8. That's 8 elections. Finally, at age 51, this persevering, hard-working, well-prepared citizen capitalized on every opportunity, was elected President of the United States. That's Abraham Lincoln's record. Was he lucky? Too often, we don't learn from successful people. Their successes are marginalized by saying, he was in the right place at the right time, or she was a favorite, or it was just luck. I'm a great believer in luck, said Thomas Jefferson, and I find the harder I work, the more that I have. I repeat, luck is found at the crossroads of preparation and opportunity. Class of 2016, I wish you a lifetime of good luck. Thank you.